husband, Bob, will not stop fighting.
He's the biggest drama queen. Joe's drama causes my skin to curdle. Joe and I are oil and water.
When Joe wouldn't get his way, he would punch a hole in the wall. He'd be very destructive. I was terrified.
Joe felt that he didn't have to follow the rules or be a part of a family.
Joe always played me against my husband. I was always torn in the middle, pushed side to side.
Joe started acting out more and more. The sound of Joe's voice gives me anxiety. Or he would just make statements like, I'll beat the out of you if you don't give me what I want.
One occasion we had to call the police. I feared for Joe's life. I feared for our lives. Joe was out of control.
Bottom line is he can't go around swearing and calling people names and lashing out because he doesn't get his way. I don't know if I can have a relationship with Joe.
Well, listening to these parents, you'd think the problem was all Joe's fault. As I've said it before, I don't care how flat you make a pancake, it's got two sides. And let's hear from Joe.
Bob has made my life a living hell as long as I can remember. The sight of Bob makes me cringe. Bob would get upset at me for not cleaning the dishes, leaving the kitchen counter wet. No matter what I did, I just wasn't good enough for him.
I got tired of Joe's games.
He emailed me and said that I was dead to him and not to call him dad anymore. That I was pathetic, I was selfish, that he would no longer be held responsible for anything that happened to me in our house.
I was done with him. That was it.
That made me terrified. It was a threat.
One time they got into a bad physical fight.
Bob elbowed me in the face and threw me down the stairs. Just punched me really hard.
I never punched Joe in the face, never elbowed him. I dragged him down the stairs. He didn't fall down the stairs. I physically threw him out the front door.
It was horrifying.
I filed a police report. He was charged with assault. I have cut all communication off with Bob.
I really don't want anything to do with him at this point.
If I see Bob now, I won't even make eye contact with him. I'll avoid him at all costs.
It breaks my heart to know that I have two men in my life that I love so dearly and so deeply that are just so torn apart.
Well, Bob and Joe refused to talk to each other, look at each other, or even be in the same room. So this is the first time they've seen each other in a number of weeks. Were all of you three able to hear what I was saying at the top of the show?
Yes. Yeah.
I meant what I said. I'm not here to throw anybody under the bus. Right. I'm here to try to get us on the road to a solution in some way. I was talking to the producers, Angie and Stephanie, right before the show. I said, okay, guys, are we ready to go? We good to go? They said, well, yeah, pretty much, but, you know, Bob pretty much wants to leave. He doesn't really want to participate in this. He's nervous, and he doesn't really want to do this. Tell me what you were thinking.
My philosophy has always been, you know, parents should work together to raise their children, okay? Whenever Patty and I had to work with Joe, it was me against Joe and Joe against me, and then she kind of like was like a flag in the wind. She didn't really have any kind of direction. It's just about respect is what it comes down to. And I said, I'm not really the person that I feel, because I look at our other child who's doing tremendous. She's really doing well. And I can only attribute that is because she stands by my side when we raise our daughter, okay? She didn't stand by my side when it came time to raise Joe.
Have you put your hands on him in anger?
Not in anger in the sense that I was mad at him. I was more mad because he was beating on his mother or abusing his mother, and I was in between them, and I felt that there's no room for that in any kind of relationship.
That's a lie. Okay. Like, that's just a blatant lie.
Okay.
Like, a complete lie. There's no excuse for putting your hands on someone ever. Ever. And I just don't understand what I did to make you so angry all the time.
Okay. You say you didn't punch him in the face, elbow him in the jaw, and throw him down the stairs. Right. He says you did. You said you drug him down the stairs or helped him down the stairs.
It's not true, Joe.
You smacked me in the face in that car.
And
then you elbowed me right in the jaw when you were trying to push me down the stairs.
Joe.
That's like something that happened,
That was an altercation at the top of the stairs where I brought you out the front door at the end of that.
Okay,
you were never
bringing me out the front
stairs.
door, I was elbowed in the face.
All right, you know, is this what this is going to be about?
It's going to be about the truth, and I've got to get to it. Well, listen, you're not the only one here.
Okay.
And you can be as pious as you want to be, but I'm going to ask the questions. And if you don't want to answer them, then don't answer them.
Fine.
But don't tell me, is this what this is going to be? What this is going to be is we're going to get it on the table so we can solve it. And if you don't want to be here, I got 10,000 people lined up around the block that do. And we've worked really hard to bring this family to this point.
Right.
And if you want to, then that's okay. You know, you go out the same way you came in. I said up front, I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus here, but we're not just going to have your version of the truth and everybody else can dummy up.
I don't necessarily want
Do you bully
it.
him that way at home?
No.
Just like you're lying and we're not going to do that?
No, I just don't put up with it. I just assume turn him off.
Well, no, I want to read a letter that you sent to him.
Sure.
Okay, you sent him a letter that says this will be the last communication between us two for the foreseeable future. It's unfortunate that you have developed into the kind of person who you are. It leads me to believe that genetics plays a larger role in someone's personality than I would have believed before.
That's right.
Because you're not his biological father.
That's correct.
So you're saying, obviously, genetics have pulled you down. I can no longer trust or tolerate for too many reasons to go into. You can fool your mother with your pathetic lies and excuses for irresponsible behavior and your idle threat about hurting yourself, but not me. You will only have your biological father to call Dad. I will not respond to you nor give you the time of day. Whether you call me Dad or Bob, it doesn't matter. You are no longer a son to me. Consider yourself deleted.
That's right.
Also, stay out of my way, literally. If I'm in a room, please avoid me at all costs. I will not be held responsible for my actions. If you happen to annoy me, you will be treated as a hostile enemy. I pray every day that you will not push your mother to another breakdown or drive your grandfather away to live in Florida with your continued abnormalities and your selfish and inconsiderate ways. So take it for what it's worth. I still love you, and I can only offer an apology that I wasn't your biological father from the start. Too bad for you. Now you have no fathers that will talk to you. I hope you're proud of yourself. And then it goes on, I continue to spend my energy and time with the only child who loves me unconditionally and knows the meaning of the family. It would be your biological daughter.
Correct. That's correct.
Now, please don't waste your time replying to this because I will not open your emails or respond to your messages or talk to you in any way.
That was